On September 3, 2025, residents of Kansas witnessed one of the most violent hailstorms in the state's history. That afternoon, the vast plain sky slowly turned a dark shade of gray. A massive thunderstorm cloud, dense and rotating, spread across much of central and southeastern Kansas. Just minutes later, white chunks of ice began to fall. The smaller ones were the size of corn kernels, then golf balls, and soon hailstones as big as baseballs heavy. Solid ice, slamming down at terrifying speeds. The entire city of Wichita, home to more than 650,000 people, was thrown into chaos. The sound of hail pounding against rooftops, windows, and cars echoed across the city. That chilling noise, mixed with howling winds, created a nightmare symphony that no one ever wants to hear again. Hail isn't unusual in Kansas. Sitting in the heart of the United States, this land is known as the world's tornado alley. On average, the state sees about 55 to 60 tornadoes every year, and hailstorms are just as common. Statistics show that Kansas endures roughly 100 to 120 severe hail events each year, with 15 to 20% producing hailstones larger than 1 inch, big enough to shatter windows, punch holes in roofs, and devastate crops. But the 2025 storm wasn't just another weather event. It shattered records, becoming one of the most destructive hailstorms ever seen in the state. Around 7:30 p.m., Valley Center was the first to take the direct hit. From Wichita to neighboring cities like Derby and Hayesville, and even stretching out toward Topeka and Kansas City, residents were swept into a nightmare of falling ice. Videos shared online showed massive hailstones hammering cars, cracking windshields, and leaving deep dents all over vehicle bodies. Home windows, storefront glass, streetlights, and even patio furniture were smashed apart by the relentless barrage. One eyewitness gasped, "I've never seen anything like this. It felt like the sky was dumping tons of ice on us." In Wichita alone, thousands of cars were heavily damaged. Photos showed spiderweb cracks across windshields and roofs punctured with holes. Many families were forced to take shelter in basements to avoid flying shards of broken glass. The city's power grid also suffered. Roughly 5,000 households lost electricity after strong winds and massive hailstones knocked down power lines. Utility crews rushed into action, and by around 10 p.m., most areas had their power restored. Fortunately, no deaths or serious injuries were reported, but property damage was estimated in the tens of millions of dollars. What made this hailstorm so extreme, meteorologists explained that it was fueled by a violent clash of air masses. Kansas sits at a crossroads where cold, dry air sweeps down from the Rocky Mountains and collides head-on with hot, humid air rising from the Gulf of Mexico. This explosive combination creates perfect conditions for severe thunderstorms, especially the most dangerous kind, supercells. Inside a supercell, powerful vertical updrafts lift tiny droplets high into the freezing layers of the atmosphere. The droplets freeze, fall, and then get carried back up to collect more ice, repeating the cycle over and over. Each trip adds a new layer, growing the hailstone larger until it becomes too heavy for the winds to hold aloft. Only then does it crash down to the ground. That process is what allowed hailstones in this storm to reach baseball size, large enough to smash car windows and dent thick metal roofs. Kansas is no stranger to extreme continental weather. Day-to-night temperature swings can reach 35 to 45 degrees, fueling strong convection currents. In summer, daytime highs can climb to 104 degrees, then plunge to around 60 degrees at night. This wide range keeps the atmosphere unstable, primed for severe weather outbreaks. But scientists warn of something more troubling. Climate change is making hailstorms more intense and unpredictable. A warming planet means more moisture in the air and more energy in the atmosphere, leading to stronger, more violent storms. For Kansans, the scene was terrifying but not entirely unfamiliar. Families are used to storm warnings, pulling cars into garages, boarding up windows, and staying indoors. Emergency agencies regularly run awareness campaigns. But when facing a storm as powerful as the one in 2025, these preparations felt inadequate. Nature's fury simply outstripped basic safety measures, forcing both officials and residents to rethink long-term resilience. In the aftermath, questions quickly arose. Is current infrastructure strong enough to withstand increasingly extreme weather? Are warning systems truly effective? And more importantly, does this storm signal that Kansas will face even more catastrophic hail events as global climate shifts? Experts believe that while hail is a natural feature of the Great Plains, the unusual intensity and frequency seen in recent years are unlike anything in the past. In the days that followed, state officials mobilized quickly. Kansas's Emergency Coordination Center urged residents to report damages for insurance and recovery assistance. Rescue teams, utility workers, and public service crews worked around the clock to clear streets, repair power lines, and clean up shattered glass and fallen trees. Many Wichita residents expressed relief that no lives were lost, but they admitted the sight of the sky dumping tons of ice left them shaken. The Kansas hailstorm was yet another reminder that nature's power is both unpredictable and overwhelming. Despite advances in forecasting and early warning systems, humanity still cannot stop the fury of the skies. What we can do is prepare better, strengthen infrastructure, and, most importantly, work together to slow climate change so future disasters may be less severe. Looking back, Kansans will remember that storm for years to come. It was more than just a weather event. It was nature's warning shot. And that message is not just for Kansas, but for the entire world. We must act now to build a safer future, one where humanity is no longer caught off guard by climate extremes. If you found this story important, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content on nature, climate, and humanity's resilience. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Please note some images in this video are for illustration purposes only and may not represent the exact events.
you.